One of the most common questions I get from nurses is about how to study for their certification exam. Hey, I'm Amanda. I'm a neonatal clinical nurse specialist. I've been a NICU nurse for over 16 years, and I love to help people advance professionally, and one of the ways is getting their certification exam, like their RNC NIC or their CCRN. And one of the biggest questions is always like, how do I study? I feel so intimidated. Whenever I do questions, I just feel dumb, any kind of things like that. And it makes me think about one of my absolute favorite books. I think I've read it or listened to the audiobook like at least 5 times. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And it is really just talking about how our small little actions really compound over time. And that can be in both a negative way or a positive way. And so the small actions that you do every day at work, or whatever your routine is like, it can compound over time. So specifically, if you're thinking about preparing for a test or getting certified, doing 10 minutes a day of questions, or every time you give a med, looking it up really quick just to refresh your memory about the adverse effects or things that you need to know about specifically. All of those really can help you. Or every time you care for a patient with a specific diagnosis, going and looking it up and thinking about what are the things that I need to know as a certified nurse about necrotizing enterocolitis, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, transient tachypnea of the newborn, whatever it might be, right? Jaundice, all of those things. How would I explain this to a new nurse? How would I explain it to a family? What are the indications? What is the nursing process that I need to be mindful of? I really think that those make such a huge difference. I always tell nurses who take my course to break up their studying over time. And I actually developed my course in that way so that it's kind of bite-sized segments over time that helps prepare you for the exam versus trying to cram everything into once. You can't learn things that way. Our brains just don't work that way. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know, what questions do you have? How do you struggle when it comes to either preparing for an exam or getting kind of good micro habits that can help you succeed? Or are there any micro habits that you have that maybe aren't so good? I know I could probably scroll a little too long on social media. So tell me yours. Tell me your questions or your habits, good or bad, in the comments below.